All right, guys, so you want to talk about welcome news. Boy, oh boy, do I have some for you here. Crystal comes out and says the following. Centrists have caused a profound shift among the base of the Democratic Party through their cowardice in the face of Trump's authoritarianism. At the end of January, Gallup found a plurality of Democrats wanted the party to be more moderate. A new poll finds that the majority now want the party to be more progressive. Okay, guys, as you're about to see here, as I'm going to show you, this is not subtle. This is like a sea change. Okay, so let's start with this one here. Was Gallup or Pew? So they did a poll. Partisan preferences for the ideological direction of their parties. Okay, so look at it. 2025 is all that matters for the purposes of this conversation. So just look at 2025. So basically, like right after Trump won, they asked this question, and the results were 29% of Democratic voters said Democrats need to become more liberal, or what they mean by that is more to the left, right? They mean more leftist. They conflate liberal and leftist, even though those are different things. We don't need to get into that, but you get the point. They're saying we want you to be more to the left, 29%. 22% say Democrats should stay the same. And then 45%, a strong plurality, almost a majority, says Democrats need to be more moderate. So in other words, in the wake of Trump winning, a lot of Democratic voters looked around and they said, all right, look, he won. What are you going to do? So you got to work with him. You got to do bipartisanship and negotiation and diplomacy and just try to get some W's where you can, but like keep the country functioning. Just work with him, right? Then people saw how fucking immensely unhinged and out of his mind Trump is in the second term. And the party did an immediate U-turn. Look at what happened with the base. Ready? These are Democratic voters we're talking about here. Survey USA poll. If you had to choose, would you rather see the Democratic Party become more progressive, stay the same, or become more moderate? Now the numbers are more progressive, 50%. Stay the same, 24%. More moderate, plummeted to 18%. And not sure is only 8%. So let's recap. Right after Trump's win, you asked Democratic voters, should the party be more progressive or more moderate? 29% say more progressive. 45% say more moderate. Today, you ask them, 50% say more progressive. Only 18% say more moderate. So in other words, the Democratic base is finally waking up. They have become radicalized by looking at the extremism of the Trump regime. All you have to do is follow the news a little bit, and you find out very quick, wait, what? He's talking about invading Greenland and stealing... Wait, what? He's talking about invading Panama and stealing Panama? Wait, he's talking about the U.S. owning Gaza and finishing the genocide and the ethnic cleansing and building casinos and hotels on the beach? He's threatening Canada. He wants them to be the 51st state, and then when they say no, he says we're going to steal some of their land and take away their water rights. What? He wants to do war with Iran at the behest of Israel? What? He signed an executive order to make it so that he can do war with Mexico on a whim without Congress? Declared the drug cartels, terrorist organizations to do airstrikes? What? He's rounding up innocent people with no criminal record and shipping them to a death camp, alleged death camp in El Salvador? What? He's launching a trade war and pissing off our allies and devaluing the U.S. dollar, and it's going to lead to a massive effective tax on the bottom 95% of Americans, and a lot of people are going to lose their jobs because the market is tanking. He's doing what? What? And so Democratic voters looked around and they go, oh, okay, this is not what I expected from Trump. This is a billionaire robber baron coup, and it's a fascist takeover. I'm against those things. You need to fucking fight. You need to fight. And so now you see somebody like Gavin Newsom, who launched a podcast and started giving a hot stone massage to sloppy Steve Bannon and Charlie Kirk and Michael Savage and all these right-wingers. He went straight down in the estimation of Democratic voters. You see somebody like AOC, who's doing an anti-oligarchy tour with Bernie Sanders. She shot up like a rocket to being one of the front runners for the 2028 Democratic nomination. The base is finally waking up. They're finally waking up. They're realizing, holy shit, you got to fight them on everything. How are they wrong about literally everything? In the first term, at least you had some little things you could point to here and there. Hey, they did the First Step Act. That's great. That's a step towards criminal justice reform, right? Great. Hey, he pardoned Alice Johnson, this sweet grandmotherly lady who was locked up, who shouldn't have been locked up. We love that. Oh, look, he banned bump stocks after a fucking mass shooting. Wonderful. There were these little things you could point to in the first term to go, look, he's bad, but it's not world ending. Now people are looking and going, oh my God, this is like the end of the country as we know it. Ripping up the Constitution, no more due process, no hearings, going full fascist. And so now everybody's finally coming to terms with the nature of reality, that this is unacceptable, this is untenable, this cannot continue. You need resistance times 1,000. You need to fight them on every front. You need to not stop. And we need a hero on our side to not meet them halfway and concede on areas where they shouldn't, right? And that's the problem with the Democrats for so long, is that they were the centrists, they were the neoliberals. I'll meet you halfway. I'm above the fray. I'm not left or right. I'm above it all, right? Now people are going, no. We want somebody on the left. We want somebody. The right says, blame trans people and immigrants for all your problems and let's go to a war against these people. That's the right-wing narrative. What does the left say? Bernie and AOC are leading the way, telling you, we're on an anti-oligarchy tour. The real problem in this country are the robber barons and the billionaires. They've bought the government, rigged it in their favor, looting the treasury, and screwing over the working class. You have no fucking, you have no healthcare. Your healthcare sucks. Okay, who do you blame for that? Well, blame the health insurance companies. The for-profit health insurance companies who are basically a parasitic mafia middleman who are getting in between you and your doctor, right? Blame the oligarchs. Blame the billionaires, blame the multinational corporations. So the left-wing answer to blame the trans people and blame the immigrants, that's what MAGA says. The left-wing answer is, the problem is the billionaires. The problem is the corruption. And we're going to fucking rein them in. We're going to tax their asses. We're going to give everybody health care. We're going to make sure you have free college. We're going to make sure you can join a union and your pay is good and your benefits are good. We're going to do 12 weeks paid family leave and 12 weeks paid sick leave. They woke up. And they're finally realizing, oh, we need an answer for this. We don't want to do some bullshit, meet them halfway, agree on their terms, give in to their framework. No, it's over. It's done. So what you're seeing now on the Democratic side is very similar to what you saw during the Tea Party movement in 2010 after Obama won, where you had this extreme grassroots awakening on the right. Some of it was AstroTurf, by the way, with big money from the Koch brothers and people like that. But eventually you had this overwhelmingly large number of Republicans who were like, we want the exact opposite of everything this guy wants, right? And now Democrats didn't start out saying that right after Trump won, but now they're like, oh, we got it. And so this is a different moment. And it's reflected too, if you go watch MSNBC programming, non-Morning Joe MSNBC programming, they start sounding like me. And they never did before, right? And so this is a very, very welcome change, man. This is a very, very welcome change. And it's been a long time coming, but we're finally fucking here. And the question is, what are we going to do about it? And the answer is, we're not going to stop until it's our time. If Bernie Sanders was 10 or 20 years younger, this election would be, the 2028 election, it would be too big to rig, right? We all fear that they're going to get rid of free and fair elections, and they're trying their best to do it. But if it was Bernie in 2028, it's over. It would have been too big to rig. It would have been a colossal landslide, the likes of which we haven't seen in modern American history. But maybe it's Tim Walz, maybe it's AOC, maybe it's somebody like Jon Stewart, but we are on track for something like that, and we can't stop. We can't stop. We need more bodies in the streets, more protests, more people waking up, and I've never been more proud of the Democratic base in my life than I am right this second. That everybody at the same time came to their senses and said, oh, I know what this is. I know what this is. And so now it's time to act accordingly. All right, guys, that's the show. I love you all very much. Everybody do me a big favor. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I'd really appreciate that. That helps out big time and costs you nothing at all. Click that bell icon so you get a notification every single time a video drops. And of course, much love to everybody who supports this show on Patreon. Literally could not do it without you. That link's below if you'd like to help support on Patreon or sign up for Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. And also, by the way, everybody go check out Corin's World, the YouTube channel, because we post the Kyle and Corin episodes over there now, and go hook my boy up, Corin, with a subscription to his channel. He's really excited about the growth of his channel. All right, guys, I love you all, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.